Hello, kids. For our inquiry unit today, we are going to continue our study of boundaries. We've talked about boundaries that people have between each other with bullying and treating each other with kindness and personal boundaries that you set for yourself, boundaries within families, boundaries in terms of your physical personal space. We've also talked about boundaries in terms of in terms of um, the physical world. We've talked about rivers and mountains being boundaries. We've talked about borders being boundaries. Well, today we're going to talk about a different kind of boundary. We're going to talk about the boundaries of the digital world, cyberspace. So we're talking about digital citizenship, ways that you behave online that there are right and wrong ways to participate in the online world. And we've got just like in real life, you treat people with kindness, you try to be positive, you try to make sure that you're not saying and doing hurtful things to others, you live the same way in your online life. And so, like in our discussion threads, we practice giving supportive comments and staying positive in our comments towards others. And we wanted to illustrate the concept of your actions online having consequences through the rings of responsibility. So you've got responsibilities as a digital citizen, and there are boundaries to your behaviors. And so I'm sure you've all seen before water as something drops into water, it creates rings that spread outward. And if you imagine your behavior being the action of the water dropping, and it affects everything around you eventually. It affects you're responsible for yourself, you're responsible for your actions in your community, and in the end, the kinds of behaviors that you have affect the people even outside of your community. So I'm going to show the water dropping, and you can see the rings. I'm sure you've seen it before. But this illustration sort of helps us understand that when one action happens, that's not the end of that action. Um, it actually has numerous other um, repercussions. And so your responsibility online is to be a good digital citizen. Um, so you're going to be watching a video that is called the Rings of Responsibility. It's going to be a link in the inquiry folder. Watch that video and think on it for a little while. Think about what are your responsibilities in our virtual world.